Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. I'm going to give you three practical ways today to rework the rules in your life that are causing you stress. So, I'll talk to you more about what I mean by rules in just a second. But if you find yourself worrying about kind of how you're measuring up, feeling kind of like you're judging yourself and you're being judged, and you're ready to start getting the results that you truly want, then watch this video and I'm going to give you simple practices that you can release that stress and start taking action right now. To make it even better, they're super simple to do. They don't cost any money or require any equipment. So really quickly, if you're new to my channel, I'm Missy. I'm a procrastination coach. Welcome to the Get It Done channel. So I am going to give you an understanding of why we procrastinate and tools to build action now. So if you find yourself procrastinating, click the subscribe button and you'll get an update every Friday with a new class. And you can also go to the calendar link on my profile and schedule time with me to learn more about what coaching with me could look like for you. So, what are these rules that I'm talking about? These are one-liners that we learned as children. They're beliefs, they are sayings, they're things that we were intended to teach us something valuable, but somehow we twist them in our minds to use against ourselves. So when we start to feel judged, or we think we're not doing it right, or maybe we think we're not doing enough, or we're not enough, or we're just totally overwhelmed by this mountain of life in front of us, then we take these rules, these sayings, and kind of use them against ourselves. For instance, one saying that I learned early in my life was, if you're going to do it right. So that was meant to give me valuable insight that if you're going to be in it, if you're going to spend your time doing something, do it well. That makes sense. Seems like a decent thing to learn. Seems like it has some value to it. It offers a couple of things. Number one, it offers be intentional with what you choose to do. Don't just find yourself in the middle of something and then feel obligated to it and then cut corners out to get out of it. Be intentional. That's valuable. It offers be selective with what you choose. So don't choose projects that you aren't really interested in or don't feel meaningful to you. It also offers make it worth your time if you're already there. Those are all seem like really great things. Here's how it gets twisted. If you're going to do it right. Becomes you better not get it wrong. You better not make a mistake because that's not okay. So if you're going to do it right means there is a right, there is a wrong. And so if there is a right or a wrong, well, I'm going to be afraid I'm going to do it wrong. So I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to procrastinate. I'm not going to start that project because the fear of doing it wrong feels terrible. Another way it gets twisted, if you're going to do something, do it right. You have to know what to do. You have to know everything to get started. So if I'm going to do it right, I got to know how to do it. If I'm knowing how, I got to know all of how. It's not very realistic, is it? I mean, when we twist things, they aren't always logical. So if I think if I'm going to do it, I have to do it right, I have to know everything. That's actually impossible. I don't believe that I know everything. So I think I'm failing before I even start. So why am I going to bother? If I'm already failing, I'm going to not bother. I'm going to not start. I'm going to not go after that dream. I'm not going to be in that project, right? I'm going to procrastinate. Here's another way it gets twisted. If you're going to do it right. Becomes small efforts don't count. So when I think my efforts aren't going to be good enough, again, why bother? If it's not going to be meaningful, if I just do a little task, then I'm going to do no tasks. Again, I'm going to procrastinate. I'm not going to start. It all gets twisted, right? And it leads to procrastination. It leads to stuffing our emotions in a big old plate of junk food. But actually, who's taking time for a plate when we're stuffing with junk food? We're just emotionally eating right through the bag, right? So that this procrastination leads to not great feelings. It leads to overeating or numbing out with drinking or binging Netflix or scrolling endless reels on social media. That is my preferred buffering of choice. There are some really funny ones on there. Um, but it also leads to putting off some really cool ideas that you think might have been interesting, or they might have been fun, or they might have been really meaningful. So when you're taking this thing that could have been great, could have been valuable, but you're feeling not enough, right? All of this twisting comes from this feeling like I'm not doing it right. I can't do it right. I don't know how to do it right. Then it gets twisted and we sort of use it against ourselves. So I'm sure you have some version of this. The thing is, when we are procrastinating because we think that we're not enough, it's not satisfying. It's also, you start to feel like crap because you feel judged by some old quote that your grandmother told you back in the day, right? On top of the guilt that you feel for whatever time you wasted doing the over drinking or overeating or Netflixing or whatever, on top of the like sluggishness of being in that numb state, right? So you've got this idea that you should be doing something. You've got all this judgment of not doing it. So then or how you're doing it. So then you procrastinate and then you feel more stinky feelings on top of that. So what do we do? I'm going to give you 3 questions to ask yourself, and you can do this right in the moment. I'm feeling like junk about whatever this project is. I'm beating myself up. I'm going to go right to these questions, and they're easy to answer. You can journal them, or you can just ask yourself this question as you're going along. But some of this I want to give credit to. The first one is from John Acuff's book named Finish. I just finished it, and it has this really valuable thing to offer. Some of this is coming from Byron Katie's The Work, and some of it's just my bend. So 3 questions. Ask yourself, what does this saying, this rule, this belief, what does it mean to me personally? And what does it mean for this goal that I have? So if you're going to do it right, means something to you, what does it actually mean? Are you twisting it, or can you use it to help you in your goal? Remember, this is just a quote that's playing over in your head. When it plays over and over in your head, it becomes a belief. So I have lots of things that run over in my head, like the lines of the movie The Big Lebowski. I don't always think that the dude is offering me something, though. I think he's offering me entertainment, but I'm not believing those lines that are rolling through my mind. So that rule that you're hearing in your mind, if you're going to do it right, doesn't have to mean anything for you right now, personally. It can, but it doesn't have to. So be intentional about that. Number 2, is this rule helpful in getting me to take action? Is it helpful in action? Remember, the goal, no matter what your specific goal is, the goal is to take a step forward. The goal is to get things done. The goal is to get the goal, right? It's not to overthink. It's not to feel terrible about yourself. It is the goal. So taking action, is this saying, is this rule, is this belief that you have in your mind helping you take action? If it's leading you to procrastination, it is not helpful. So no matter how true you think it is, it's holding you back. So that leads to number 3. What's helpful to ask yourself is, what do you believe about you in relation to this goal? What are you believing about you? What are you believing about your goal? And what are you believing about the action that you're taking? So it might look something like this. I believe that I have figured things out before. I have a goal and I'm working to figure it out. I believe that I'm not sure of all the steps to take, but I think this could be one way I could go. And so I'm going to try. I believe that I can take this one action today and see how it goes. When I see how it goes, I can then decide what else I want to think. So when you're asking yourself these questions, all of a sudden you're going from the saying from your grandmother, right? Or you're going into you, who you are today, what you're doing today, and what actions you're taking to get there, right? You're going from this swirl of I'm not good enough to I'm in the stuff right now. So, to take a deeper look at kind of the stress that these rules, these sayings, these beliefs have on you, I want to recommend another video that you can click on, how pressure affects your performance. So, you can go to that and understand why these questions are so important. Thank you for being here today. And I hope that I've given you some insight in releasing some of these rules, releasing some of these beliefs, and letting you rewrite what is meaningful for you, for your goals, and getting things done.